Hey! Everyone talks about the songs they want to get added to Project SEKAI, but no one ever talks about the producers who make the songs. So, I'm going to do that. I've compiled a list of more or less 10 composers who haven't made a commission song, and I'm going to talk about them. I'm not really a music nor Vocaloid expert, so I can't really justify any of my answers aside from I want it and the vibes match. I tried to make sure that the producers I picked were somewhat active, so there'd be a chance for my choices to actually happen. Also, just to preface, this list has existed for I want to say 6 months. The original list had Nikki in it, who made Reika. By the way, I called it. I wrote in my original list that Nikki was going to make an commission, and Go Aoki, otherwise known as Gogoti, who made Ichika's 5th commission. I was tired of not being able to say I called it in spite of the fact that I totally did. I also realized that if I didn't do this anytime soon, the list would simply not exist anymore. So, without further ado, here are more or less 10 composers who I think should make a Project SEKAI commission. 0.33. That's why I said more or less 10. So Eve's technically made a commission song already, Gunjo Sanka, Ultramarine Hymn, aka the first anniversary song. But that doesn't really count. I want Eve to make a character-focused commission, because he hasn't made one yet. And due to Project Voltage, he did make a Vocaloid song recently, so it's not completely off the table. I feel like Eve's songs are diverse enough that he could compose for any unit, but like, it's going to be Leonid. There's just no way it's going to be anything else. At first, I put Eve down for Ichika 5, and while I still think that if Eve were to make a commission, it would be for Ichika, I'd say if he were to make one for the 5th commission round, it would be for Honami or Shiho, aka the Leonid leftovers. Another one before one. In the same way that Eve made Gunjo Sanka, Kanaria has made Identity, the Cup Noodles sponsored song not about cup noodles. I feel like in a way it can be viewed as a Kanade focus, but I'm not counting it, so it gets to stay on the list. I'm sure most would agree that Kanaria just fits Night Court, and for some reason I associate Mizuki with Kanaria. It's weird. But to be honest, I don't want Kanaria to make a Night Court commission. It might just feel like a rehash of Identity. Wonderlands has 2 Kanaria covers, so it could go to them, and if it did, it would go to Rui. However, in my heart of hearts, I want Haruka to get the Kanaria commission. Why? I could not tell you, I just want it. If Haruka can get the Yuri Cannon commission, she sure as hell can get the Kanaria commission. Whoa! The first actual composer who hasn't made a commission song yet. Hiiragi Kirai. This guy has already got 2 covers in the game, Boca de la Verita and Lovka. I feel like it's an inevitability, it's bound to happen, and probably somewhere during the 5th rotation. It's obvious that if Hiiragi Kirai were to make a commission, it would be for Night Court. Like, it's just a perfect fit. I could say another unit's name, but that wouldn't change the fact that it would probably go to Night Court. Any member would work really, but in my mind, Kanade and Mizuki work best. Hiiragi Kirai's newer works just make sense for Mizuki. But if you listen to their older works, I feel like it fits Kanade better. So, I'm just going to say, Hiiragi Kirai is making Kanade 5. It's a similar situation with Wotaku. They've got 2 songs that have covers, Genhena and Shanti. They're great covers. And I feel like if they ever did make a Project SEKAI commission, it would be a banger. It's a toss-up to me as to who Wotaku would make a commission song for. Because while Night Court feels like the obvious option, a part of me wants to say VBS would fit better. Also, Wonderlands is an option for some reason, but that feels more like a strange dream than anything else. Thinking it over a bit, I feel like Akito just makes the most sense. I feel like Mizuki could fit rather well too, but I feel like Wotaku's lyrics and general style just lend itself better to an Akito commission. Omoi is going to make a Leonid commission. I don't know how or when, but they're going to make one eventually. The instruments they use can usually be found in a band, so it's a no-brainer. If you want some other options, I can see Wonderlands or More Jump as a possibility, but that doesn't seem likely. My first instinct is to say Saki, and I think my first instinct is right. I just feel like it makes the most sense. Omoi's songs feel a bit goofy, and I feel like the only Leonid character that would probably get a kind of goofy song is Saki. I highly doubt that Omoi is going to make a song for the 5th commission round because it's going to Saki. Tsukasa and Emu could happen, but they've already gotten their 5th song. All in all, Saki's 6th commission is going to be Omoi. I'm not willing to bet anything substantial on it, but I'd be willing to bet like a couple dollars on it. But I'll be honest, this slot was originally Utsuki, but because I procrastinated too much, he ended up getting confirmed before I even recorded this. So I put Usushioshisuu here. At the very least, I called it. I thought it would go to Toya though, not Akito, but a win's a win. Oh yeah, by the way, you're gonna hear me stumble through this producer's name a lot because I'm not that good at editing and I really don't want to deal with it, so apologies in advance, I guess. Usushioshisuu is a producer I discovered through Project SEKAI, Dame Ningen da. But I ended up enjoying a lot of their other works. There's just a sort of fun upbeatness in all of their works that I really enjoy. Naturally, More Jump would be the first answer, because they did get the cover, and Usushioshisуу's vibe certainly fits them very well. While More Jump is probably more likely, I feel like Leonid is also a possibility. Their older works lean more into band-like instrumentals, and some of their newer works carries that over. This guy could really make a commission for anyone in More Jump, except Haruka. Maybe it's because we haven't gotten a fast-paced Haruka song yet, but that could change if Usushioshisuu made a Haruka commission. Airi and Minori usually get the sillier songs like this, so we might have to wait for the 6th rotation. As for Leonid, I usually associate silly songs with Saki, but for some reason I want to say Shiho. I don't know why, I just do. Anyway, I assume the Usushioshisuu commission is going to be Minori or Airi's 6th commission. Or I could be very wrong, and it could be Haruka's 5th. John's music is weird, that's all I've really got to say about it. I'm sure most of you will say that John's probably going to make a VBS commission, mainly because of Shunran. And while that's probably the case, I, having listened to some of his other works, say Wonderland's X Showtime. Some of his songs are just kind of weird, and I associate that more with Wonderlands than VBS. For VBS, I feel like Kohane is the most likely outcome. If he makes one of his reader songs, it could fit Kohane. If he makes something more conventionally street music-esque, it would still fit Kohane. Akito is certainly a possibility, but I just can't see him getting a commission from if John's going the weirder route. Rui, I feel like fits the best. If he can get Cyberpunk Dead Boy, he can get a John commission. No, but seriously, I feel like Rui's weirdo energy is a perfect fit for a John commission, if John does choose to go in that direction. I really like yukkedoluce. I'm not 100% sure if they're still active, but I'm going to assume so for the sake of this list. For some strange reason, I associate yukkedoluce more with Wonderlands than Leonid, in spite of the fact that Transient Apple Sales Girl was a Leonid cover. I think it's because their works are very story-esque songs, so I associate them more with Wonderland. If yukkedoluce were to make a Leonid commission, I believe Honami will get it. When I found out that Sake and Ichiko were covering Transient Apple Sales Girl, I was surprised. But that might just have to do with the fact that the song has apples in its title, and Honami likes apple pie. There's just something relaxing and comforting about yukkedoluce's music, which I feel like fits Honami perfectly. However, as I said, I expect yukkedoluce to make a Wonderlands commission. I'll be honest, I thought Transient Apple Sales Girl would be a Wonderlands cover. The song feels like a fairy tale turned into a song. So when Leonid was covering it, I was surprised. I feel like a Nene commission would be a perfect fit. Something like Transient Apple Sales Girl or Everlasting Boy would make a wonderful Nene commission. Kei, otherwise known as Hayashi Kei, is one of the OGs in the Vocaloid community. He's been producing Vocaloid songs longer than some Project SEKAI players have been alive. What a crazy thought, isn't it? Most people would say Leonid to a commissioned song by Kei, and I agree. If they were to commission a song from Kei, it would definitely go to Leonid. I think anyone in Leonid seems like a reasonable possibility, but I say Honami is the most likely outcome. I feel like I've said Honami for almost all the Leonid ones. But come on, Kei just fits Honami the best. Especially after Regulus, they might mix it up a bit and give Honami a more relaxed song. Now we're getting into the producers without any songs in Project SEKAI. Mel, also known as Rosuke Izumo, is a producer I adore. Sadly, he hasn't made a song in 4 years, but that hasn't stopped them from commissioning Nano to make Engeki after a 5-year hiatus. So, it's definitely in the realm of possibility. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure of Mel's current status, because the Vocaloid wiki tells me nothing about him, However, I'll keep him on this list because A, I want it, and B, I'm fairly sure he's still somewhat active on social media. Continuing on, more jump. What more do I need to say? Songs like Goodbye Miss Flower Thief and Town of Jade just fit them perfectly. Haruka and Shizuku seem like the best fit for these types of songs. Mel's songs feel rather calming, and I feel like Haruka and Shizuku usually get the more calming songs. This also might be due to the fact that Haruka and Shizuku both now have gotten their 5th commissions, and I want a new Mel song as soon as possible. I want Canon 69 to make a Project SEKAI commission. If you couldn't tell, I really like jazz. And one of my favorite jazz Vocaloid producers is Canon 69. I'll be honest, I'm genuinely surprised Canon 69 hasn't made a Project SEKAI commission. He's been composing since 2009, he's relatively popular if Real Scandal is any indication, and he's still pretty active in the Vocaloid community, with Tensai being a song he's made recently. So the fact that he hasn't made a commission yet boggles my mind. It's obviously Wonderlands. You wouldn't give jazz like this to any other unit. I feel like either Rui or Tsukasa would work perfectly. I also do not think they would be willing to give a Canon 69 commission to either Emu or Nene. But I could just be wrong. If you were to compose a song for the 5th commission round, I'd obviously answer Rui. However, I like Tsukasa more. So if he's composing for the 6th round, I say Tsukasa. If you've been counting, there are only 9 composers who haven't made any Project SEKAI commissions. That's because at first Hanyu Maigo was on this list, but he's making Nene 5, so I have to retool, and I kinda don't want to deal with that. So, we're going to count Eve and Kanaria together as one whole new composer. That way, it's still 10. So, I called Hanyu Maigo. Not think that was going to Nene though. That's really it. 10 composers who haven't made any commission songs for Project SEKAI, who I want to make a commission song. There were a ton of other composers who I could have put, like Rearrange, Chocho P, Kai, 23.exe, Rokuro, or Maretu. But if I listed off every composer I like, this would have been too long, and I simply didn't want to spend too much time on this. I was originally going to add a segment at the end about Hachi and Enbuna, but like, what's there even to say? They were Vocaloid producers, but with the popularity that they've achieved, Colorful Palette probably can't afford them or convince them to make a commission song. Like, yeah, it's just that. So you can hear it now, but I'm not gonna go into detail. On the other side, there are some composers who I do enjoy, but I'm not sure if they're popular enough for Project SEKAI to commission them. Originally, I had Yuman and Ame no Murakumo P on this list. However, as much as I enjoy their music, I wouldn't say that they were the most popular producers either. But if they do get a commission song, I'm going to say I called it Yuman Leonid and Ame no Murakumo P Wonderlands. Moral of the story, don't procrastinate. I procrastinated too much, so I had to change this list multiple times. And even then, when I started finally editing, I had to change it again because Hanyu Maigo got confirmed. Before I end this, I'm gonna say, I called Nikki, Gogoti, and Otsupi. I simply procrastinate too much. Anyway, that's it. I hope you had a good time, you found some new producers. Goodbye.